Remember last episode I pitched my tent on this random parking / camping on Valencia Island? I also met these lovely Dutch people who I had some great chats with the night before and this morning. They were the owners of Le Petit Monde, a chambre d'hôte in France, in case you're interested in further supporting them.
Very high winds, as you can see. It's really a test for a tent. At certain points I feared it. Anyway, now also quite a heavy day in terms of kilometers. I will be making it to Kenmare, which is on its own already 80 or so, and maybe go further depending on how fast I make it there. Will be a day without too much breaks. Let's go!
I then went on my way to Waterville. I'll not dwell too long about this day. I just want to say, if you ever find yourself on a bike and are seeing this view, just know that you're pretty because of the steep hills that will follow here. No, there's also some good sides.
Crazy how your mind becomes one with nature when you're out in the elements the whole day or the whole week. The sun starts shining suddenly out of nowhere, and I immediately have like this massive energy boost. Crazy. Finally, it's a box. This bastard killed me.
In case you're actually watching this out of educational purposes, because you want to do a bike tour here yourself, bring cookies and think about this lesson. Lesson number 11. Cycling from Waterville to Kenmare looks like Lord of the Rings. I then arrived in Kenmare and opened up my Google Maps. I looked up on Google Maps how to get to Glengarriff. It suggested one road that was a little bit longer than another alternative road. I chose to go for the alternative shorter road. But that was a big mistake because it brought me onto these trails that were almost unwalkable even, and I had to get over with my bike with 25k extra. Here you will see the exact moment my soul left my body.
Google Maps suggested one road. I took the other because it was shorter in kilometers. Big mistake.
But this is an episode of optimism, so we did find our groove and went on.
We also made it into County Cork.
Completely exhausted, I made it into Glengarriff.
Anyway, day 7, we're heading from Glengarriff to Castletownbere, I believe, and back again the same way that we went. It seems that my prayers have been heard, and they are actually organizing a tour the bear off here, meaning there will be a cycle event going on. Something I've been thinking over the last couple of days. Ideal to do in this area.
Nice. First of all, the person you just saw was a guy named Bradley. I briefly met him before on this trip in Dingle, but could now finally capture him on camera. He will come up again later this episode. Second, I went on my way to Castletownbere, but quickly felt that my legs were quite empty, so I decided to turn back and go with the bus to Castletownbere.
put my bike again in the bike shed of the hostel for today. And on trying to lift there.
Yes, you heard that well. I was feeling adventurous and said I wanted to try and lift to Castletownbere.
Alright, here on this spot I'm going to try and find a lift towards Castletownbere. So, after 3 old people looked very mad at me when I put my lifting pump up, I chickened out for now at least, and decided to wait in the bus stop in a bus that's coming in 20 minutes.
In Castletownbere, I mainly did some boring stuff like trying to walk the bear away.
I feel now after a couple of kilometers hiking, I could get used to this as well. Like it's beautiful in its own way. This is a place I could never do with a normal bike. Yeah.
I then went back into town and gave my lifting skills another attempt. Not sure what was up today.
Half success if I just got a lift, dropped me at a gas station, saying that I would have more success here. So the lift didn't bring me to Gareth again.
But I then made it back into town on foot. Next morning I watched the thru-axle start and went on my way again.
Thru-axle stop? Oh no, the start. It's a big event, man. It's like 4K people, I think I heard. Cool hotel as well. Found a little again, so making a brief stop here. A little just before Bantry. Little really is like the lifeline of this trip. Lesson about this trip: expect way more headwind and wind in general than you're used to. Like, these are strong winds. God damn it. And as expected, I have to walk this last part.
As the trip goes on, it seems that I'm becoming more and more delusional, so I'll give you a brief look into what this looks like.
I'm surprised as well, by the way, how many different trails there are around here, like Sheephead's Way, Gary Way, Vera Way. Must be a hiking paradise around here. I am almost at the top of the Sheephead's Peninsula, if this bastard wasn't here. It is funny how different the terrains on this peninsula are. On one side you have like the rawish view, and then suddenly over there you have like the good life, green fields, sheep being happy. Or my mood just got a massive boost again from the sun, and I'm projecting this on the landscape around here. Who knows? It is super beautiful. Good morning on day 9. We woke up with a storm here at Wisenhead. not great. So we're gonna move on fast to Baltimore and hope that weather is better over there.
Without much further ado, I packed my bags and left that place of misery, I guess. It was such a betrayal. The night before was so sunny. Lesson number 12. Irish weather will betray you.
The universe really decided to challenge me this morning. First of all, waking me up in the middle of a storm, then being one of the coldest mornings since this trip, and now I have a flat tire. Fucking wish me luck. I tried making the rear tire loose, but it's completely stuck. I can't get it out of there. I also tried patching the inner tube directly without making the bike loose, but that, after 2 times trying to patch it, immediately loosened up, unfortunately. So yeah, all there is to do now is walking further, I guess. After 2 hours of trying, I unfortunately have to give up and fall back on the good old walking to the first stop that may be able to help me.
A few moments later.
As if the Lord heard me directly, a very kind man stopped and gave me some WB-40, which resulted in me getting the rear bike loose.
Lesson number 13. Irish people will not betray you. They're the kindest people you'll meet.
And we are hopefully back in business.
I then started my trek again towards Baltimore.
I feel like that quote from the French guy from the Netflix series about Tour de France, who says something like, "As long as you're on the bike, you're alive." I feel like that today. My back tire is holding out for now with my DIY outer tire fix. I had to patch it with an emergency patch. I hope it stays until tomorrow at least, so that I can pass by a bike shop. Pray for me.
I was clearly having a spiritual morning that morning with all the praying and the lords. But I made it into Schull, where I met the kind man that helped me earlier that day, as well as Bradley again. This was how my tire was looking in Schull, and unfortunately,
Bad luck today. Puncture number 2. Alright, attempt 2. Or 3. Man, this is a track. I had to stop another time to fix my brake because I managed to put it wrong when I put my rear tire on again. Dude, this day, man, what the
I fixed my wheel and went on my way again until Bradley saw me again. I then tried convincing Bradley to go towards the next town, which we did at first. I was able to convince Bradley to restart the track with me towards the next town, until he reversed me and convinced me again.
change of plans now. Originally I was planning to go to Skibbereen, potentially together with a New Zealand guy named Bradley, but he now convinced me, or we got to the decision together to stay here in Ballydehob, as there was a pub where there was a lot of folks having fun, and we'll probably be joining them. Let's see what that will bring.
We did have a great evening with some very lovely people, and we also got some food, but I'll let Bradley do the rest of the talking.
I proceeded to socialise for about 15 minutes when you came rolling past, and then I stopped you, and we got pulled in to this whole wedding party, which was its second night of going. So we basically just crashed a wedding, and then we set our tents up, got dressed to the nines and looking sharp, and then we went back in and scrudded their whole buffet, ate all their salads, and drank a ton of stouts.
Yeah.
So, and then we were there till close, and we got kicked out in the pouring rain to the sound of slamming doors, and
That was a great evening, like.
it was a great evening and a very peaceful rest too. And we didn't wake up with a hangover because we had such a good time.